Hi guys, welcome to part 2 of me playing Andromeda 6, an Otome game, a sci-fi Otome game. If you haven't watched part 1, I suggest you watch it, but if not, I can give a recap before we start. So far, we woke up on a spaceship, realized we don't remember anything, and we've met, let's see, June, which is this dude, Bash, and Riona. She's the medic, he's the engineer. I don't know what he does, so that's all we did in 30 minutes. Oh, wait, let me start my 30-minute timer. If I don't do a timer, then I'll play this game for like hours, and I can't edit because computer issues. But okay, starting my 30 minutes, and let's start. Okay. On closer inspection, I noticed the hastily patched repair jobs and oil-stained bandages holding parts of it together, and I can't keep. Sorry. I have to get back into the rhythm of reading. I don't think I'll ever get into the rhythm of reading. Okay. And I can't keep a smile from tilting my lips. Oops, I think I skipped something. Oh no, I didn't. It just seemed like you did. Do the bionics make you nervous? I snap my gaze to his face, embarrassed at being caught staring, and when he laughs, I can't help but feel like he's laughing at me. Have you never seen bionics before? Your mouth is practically dragging on the floor. No, I've seen them before. I don't know. Maybe I've never seen them up close. Oh, that's it, is it? You're hoping for a closer look. I roll my eyes. Oh, also, I don't know which route I should do for this playthrough. We'll see. He waggles his eyebrows at me suggestively, and I roll my eyes at his teasing. In your dreams, maybe. Bash fakes a look of mock offense, holding both hands, bionic and human, over his heart. Is it you wound me or you wound me? Either one doesn't sound too good anyways. And here I was thinking we were starting to become friends. I give him a dry look, and he grins that crooked grin of his, which only makes me break my facade and laugh with him. I can certainly think of worse friends to have. We fall into step next to each other, and I trust Bash's knowledge of the ship to lead me to the right place this time. Oh, so, for those who haven't watched part 1, I wake up on the ship, I meet June, I go to the medic's office, which is where I meet Riona, and on my way back to my room, I get lost, which is where I find Bash and find out that there's a hole on the ship, and now we're like walking through the corridor. Do your bionics give you any special abilities? Bash flexes his bionic arm in front of him, making a fist and relaxing it again. His face is strange all of a sudden. This is stronger than any old human arm, faster too, crushes steel as easily as tin can. But the real moneymaker is this. He gestures to his left eye, giving me the opportunity to study it closer. It's obvious on first glance that there's something different about it. The way it pulses, a bright electric yellow, makes his right eye, a dark forest green, seem almost dull in comparison. Oh, when there's long sentences, I don't know the rhythm. Infrared sight, X-ray vision, advanced targeting. I instinctively move to cover myself, but when he laughs heartily, I stop, dropping my arms to my side and feeling a little foolish. Relax, kid, you'll know when it's activated. It glows red. He's basically cyborg. I laugh at myself, trying to recover from my awkward reaction. And the tattoos? Purely ornamental, though I like to think they add to my overall formidable appearance. An ungrateful snort escapes me before I can stop it, but then I hesitate, deciding how to word the question that's poised on my lips without sounding like I'm digging for the gory details. How did you end up with them? I mean, if you don't mind me asking. He grimaces, and I'm immediately aware of how intrusive I'm being. Sorry, you don't have to answer that. I'll make you a deal. When something worth sharing pops into that head of yours, I'll tell you. Alright, you've got a deal. He grins at me, and I find it amazing how he seems to shrug things off so easily, as though his entire being is dedicated to only the good things in life. So, what do you think of our humble abode? Ignoring the fact, of course, that there's a great fucking hole in the cargo hold. I chuckle at the way Bash manages to flip something as serious as a hole in the spaceship. Sorry. I misclicked. As a hole in the spaceship to something of a mere inconvenience. I haven't seen much of it yet. In fact, before I ran into you, I was pretty lost. No one's given you a tour? The outrage. You'd think we were a band of bloody savages if you didn't know any better. Oh my goodness. I think he says, have you met the captain yet? No. Bash gives a scoff of a laugh, then shakes his head in amusement. Probably for the best. That man's got a chip on his shoulder like I've never seen before. Just stay clear of his warpath and you'll be okay, kid. Let's see. Who else do we have around here? You said you've already met June. Watch out for that pet of his. Sharp teeth and combined spaces are not a good mix. Let me tell you now. Don't ask me how I know that. His pet? You'll know when you see it. Trust me. He shudders, and now I'm even more intrigued. Somehow, I'll have to find a way of meeting this pet. There's the pilot too. Nah, there's a pocket rocket if I ever did see one. Too bad she wasn't a fan of the water tank plans I drew up. Perhaps you'd be more obliging? What I wouldn't give to see a full-blown space mermaid in all their watery glory. His mind drifts elsewhere, and when I clear my throat, he shrugs and shakes his head. She'd rather live like a lowly old human. Can't see the sense in that, personally. Riona was the one who patched you up. You've met her, I'm guessing? Yeah, we've been introduced. She seemed lovely. Yeah, she is. Well, there's plenty I could say about her, but I'll save it for another time. His face changes as he talks about Riona. It becomes softer, somehow. You've obviously met me, the most handsome and talented engineer this side of Callius X. I would say that's all you need to know, but I'm sure there was someone else. Give me a second, I was checking the audio. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting someone? He holds a finger against his lips, and I can't tell if he's serious or this is all just for dramatic effect. He snaps his fingers in front of him, grinning at me as we walk through a set of double doors. Oh yes, the assassin. Says he's a spy, but between you and me, I can see him sneaking up on me from a mile away. He leans in close to whisper the last part, his eyes glinting with an unmistakable mischief. Mischief? Mischief. Okay. He's always lurking in the shadows, playing with his knives. You know, this one time I swear I saw him. Saw me what? Ah! Damon, hey, I was just telling the newbie here all about our happy little crew. Delightful. Please, don't let me stop you. You know what? I think I hear the captain calling my name. What's that, Cap? Bash is already halfway across the bridge before I have the chance to say goodbye, leaving me standing on my own at the entrance. Well, not entirely on my own, as Damon is still leaning nonchalantly against the wall next to me. I spare him a nervous glance, my skin prickling under his cold stare. The way he's looking me over makes me feel like I'm not so much a guest on the ship, but his prey. Trying to ignore his unnerving presence, I survey the front of the ship. The room is spacious, control panels spread across the front, 2 seats for the pilot and co-pilot surrounded by a domed window, and a cluster of seats behind them. I step forward to see through the window up ahead. The view of Celiota is even more breathtaking from here. I have no idea which planet we're currently passing, but somehow, it makes me feel unnervingly small. A tiny, insignificant speck, alone in this vast galaxy. The drifting sound of arguing reaches me, and a couple of people I don't recognize, coupled with June and Bash, pace about the room. Over the grinding of engines and the whir of electronics, I can't quite make out what they're saying, but when I feel a slinking presence beside me, dark and ominous and entirely dangerous, it doesn't matter anyway. The skin on the back of my neck prickles. Everyone I've met so far has been welcoming, in their own way, but this man, Damon Bash called him, feels anything but. My eyes flick to the side, and I know, even before I see, that he's watching me. He's the emo love interest. I'm still debating who's gonna be my route. I love all of them, to be honest. Join the others or hang back. Oh man. I think it's really hard to have a favorite. Oh my goodness, I just noticed. Do you see the little message here? It says I love Bash. Who wrote that? If I choose Bash, we're having issues. I'll join the others. Hesitant to be caught in whatever web Damon is spinning, I decide to join the others and find out what all the commotion is about. Could it have something to do with the hole in the cargo hold Bash and I saw earlier? Taking a deep breath to prepare myself, I manage to take a single step before I falter at the sound of a silky voice beside me. Lost more than just your memory, have you? It'd be pretty stupid to interrupt that conversation. I almost trip on my own 2 feet at the sound of his warning, righting myself clumsily as I turn to stare at Damon, wide-eyed. How do you know about my memory? I know everything. Oh my goodness, such an edgy... I narrow my eyes at him, trying to decipher exactly what kind of game he's playing. And then I remember, June, duh. He's probably the one who told Damon what happened. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? He grins at me wide and wolfish. My face flushes with heat, and I know he knows he's getting to me by the way his lips curl even tighter, or higher. I'm beginning to have serious doubts about the whole assassin thing, until the glint of tarnished metal catches my eye, and I glance warily at the blade, balancing idly between his deft fingers. I'm sure you like what you see, but it's rude to stare. Excuse you, I'm not staring. Glare at him, I'm not staring, or nice blade, I'm not staring. I'm not staring, I'm trying to decipher why you think you can try to intimidate me. Try, huh? You're funny. Not intimidated? I can see your knees knocking from a mile away, sweetheart. I will say, I am weak to pet names. He takes a step toward me, staring me down through cerulean eyes, his chin tilted high. Unless intimidated is the wrong word for it. He winks at me and my jaw clenches tight, eyes narrowing into a glare hot enough to scorch. Are you always such a dick? Always. At least he can joke around. The scoff that escapes me is dark and deliberate. This is a guy who clearly thinks a lot of himself, and I refuse to give him the satisfaction of letting him get to me. Though I don't think that's going very well. With a sigh, I glance over at the group again, whose argument has seemed to come to a boiling point. Regardless of how I feel about Damon, I'm glad he stopped me. Who knows what kind of troubles I would have gotten myself in otherwise. You're welcome. What? I wasn't thanking you. But you're thinking about it. No, I wasn't. Damon laughs, cutting off a low, dangerous sound that sends a shiver up my spine. He raises a dark eyebrow, and I almost consider running headfirst into the commotion just to get away from him. I can tell when people are lying. Some might call it a talent. Some might not. I stare at him in disbelief, an unease creeping over me that I can't quite place. It's a gift to be able to read people, what they're thinking, what they desire. Are you trying to trick me into believing you can read minds, like telepathy? Telepathy or telepathy? His smug expression falters somewhat, and shoot, I keep misclicking. Sorry. His smug expression falters somewhat, and I would feel triumphant if I wasn't busy losing my mind, wondering if he's actually capable of such a thing. Don't be ridiculous. There's no such thing. It's just something I'm good at, reading people, figuring out what makes them tick. Telepathy is bullshit. I call it a life skill and an invaluable one at that. He folds his arm across his chest, his gaze unwavering, and that infuriating half-cocked grin sliding onto his lips once again. And how is it that life gives someone that skill? Now that's none of your business, is it? I quickly realized that despite his smile, there's something strange about his eyes, something cold and calculated. My stomach churns with unease, and as much as I try, I can't look away from him. I feel exposed beneath his gaze, as predictable as an open book, and so vulnerable that I can't even read what's written on my own pages. I turn myself away only when his attention shifts toward the group in the middle of the room, his ears perked and trained on their whispered words. I feel a weakness in myself. I felt a weakness in myself earlier with Jude, a weakness in limbs that had been unused for far too long, but now they tremble in relief as the weight of Damon's stare leaves me. Deciding it's probably best to just get out of here and talk to the others later, I turn to leave the bridge and restart the hunt for the room I was in earlier. Or are you going? Wait, let me take a screenshot, because I think I'm gonna make this my thumbnail. It's gonna say something like edgy warlord or something like that. Edgy assassin? I don't know. We'll figure it out. Where are you going? A silky voice stops me in my tracks, and when I turn to Damon, he's studying me curiously, as if I were some specimen in a lab. Back to my room. But we've only just started having fun. He pushes himself away from the wall and steps toward me with an unnatural feline grace. You know what else I'm good at? Finding out what people want. What they really want. Yeah, what do I want then? What is it that you truly desire? If you know what I want, why are you asking me? Shouldn't you be telling me? His voice still holds what seems to be a perpetually snarky undertone, but something about his questions makes my blood run cold. Regaining my memories would be a good start. That's too easy. How would I pronounce the pft? That's too easy. He rolls his cold blue eyes at me, clearly unsatisfied with my answer. Everyone wants something. It's usually dark, twisted, and depraved, but it's what makes us who we are. So what do you want? I don't know. Nothing, really. I have amnesia. How would I know what I want? Liar. Well, you tell me then. His hooded eyes slide over me suggestively, his lips pulling up at one side. I'll find out what it is sooner or later. Oh, so you don't know. I thought you said you knew. I don't think for this time I'm gonna do a Damon route. It's gonna be between Bastion and the other two characters we haven't seen yet. So, I'm just gonna be mean to him. Leave me out of it. I'd like to see you try blush. Leave me out of it. Good luck with your weird little quest. I'd rather you just left me out of it. I attempt to make my voice sound light, but there's no hiding the fact that Damon unnerves me. At the sound of my voice, he grins in a wolfish way that makes my stomach turn unpleasantly. I don't need luck, newbie. I blink at his unfaltering confidence at how it coils around him like smoke, twisting around his limbs. Do you do that on purpose? Make it feel as though you're trying to lure every poor soul into your bed. Damon laughs, and for a moment I think I've caught him off guard with my boldness. He seems younger when he laughs. A glow flushes his face, and as short as the moment is, it's interesting to catch a glimpse of what's under that icy exterior. Maybe. Do you want to be lured into my bed? Not particularly. No thank you. He chuckles again, and I sense a shift in him, something that relaxes his shoulders and chases the shadows down from his face. You know what? You're not so bad. We might just get along, if you stick around, of course. He winks at me in a way that feels oddly conspiratorial. Just don't expect any special treatment. I'm still lost in the moment when footsteps approach, heavy set and clipped, and a gruff voice calls toward us. Resner! Damon rolls his eyes and lips curl into a smirk as he winks at me, blue eyes glinting with amusement. I do think for this game, you don't have to choose early on for your route. I think like it might take a couple episodes before, or maybe 2 episodes. We're still on episode 1. So if I change my mind, I still want to go with Damon. I can do that. Because I do like, well, I like all the characters in this game. So he steps back slowly, one foot behind the other. He slides his hands into his pockets as he turns and grins in that infuriating way. Yes, dear? Is this really the time to be messing around? Damon gasps, holding a hand to his chest in mock offense. Messing around? Me? Why, Commander, I would never. You guys look so cozy over there, and you know I would never want to intrude. The commander inhales sharply, shutting his eyes and pinching the bridge of his nose in clear annoyance. Why are you? He stops, fixing Damon with a dark stare. One that says, don't fuck with me, among other things. You know what? This isn't the time for your bullshit, Damon. I need you to go and do your thing, and tell Bash to get Oppo on the line. We'll be paying a visit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Damon gives a mock salute, pulling on a pair of black leather gloves and looking thoroughly unimpressed at being interrupted. He turns back before he leaves the bridge, sparing a single glance over his shoulder. Don't wait up for me. Was he talking to me? Oh, I'm not sure which one of us he's speaking to exactly, and in the end, I decide I'd rather not know. With a thick swallow, I turn back to the other man, steeling myself against the wrath Damon so generously invoked in him. Damon was unnerving, in his own kind of way, but this man is downright terrifying. Tall, rigid, and with a scowl so intimidating it makes my blood run cold. Looks like the warm welcome ended with Bash. What are you doing here? Folding his arms over his broad chest, he stares me down, and I try my hardest not to shrink under his glacial glare. Excuse me? He lets out an exasperated huff of air, his sharp jaw tensing with his frustration. Wait, is the music too loud? I did turn it up, but I don't think it's too loud. Okay. Look, I don't have time to babysit a stowaway. Do us all a favor and keep off the bridge, will you? Okay. I'm not confrontational, so I'm not gonna say, who do you think you are, or what else am I supposed to do? I'm just gonna go, okay. Okay, I'll just... Why June decided to drag you onto the ship, I'll never know. June is the one who saved me? I blink at him stupidly, attempting to contemplate how exactly one man can be so obnoxious. I mean, we just met Damon, and he's also obnoxious. Play nice now, Calderon. A feminine voice calls out from somewhere over to the side, but if anything, it only seems to make the captain even more annoyed. Look at his annoyed face. I don't know why that face looks so funny. My eyes flick up over him involuntarily. He has the look of a soldier, strong jaw, stiff back, stick up his ass about a mile long. Look, I really don't have time for Ayame, get the goddamn ship on course. We are not stopping by the Catalfin ruins. I don't give a shit what time of year it is. The woman barks something at him and I back away slowly, thinking it's probably best to keep out of his way after all. I barely make it 3 steps before he turns, sapphire eyes landing on mine and a cold stare freezing me in place. You're from Goldus. The way he says it isn't a question, but it catches me off guard nonetheless. What? That's where we picked you up, right? Right. So tell me, do you really think this new guy in power, Zovak, is going to be any better than the greedy son of a bitch before him? A flash of anger passes over his features so quickly I would have missed it if I wasn't looking closely. Well, I'm clearly looking closely at his face. My eyebrows knit together, confused. Maybe Riona was mistaken about my accident. I feel less like I've taken a blow to the head and more like I've been dropped into another galaxy entirely. I feel like amnesia would make you feel that way. I don't know. He sneers at me, his lips curled cruelly, and immediately I know I struck a nerve. You don't know? Isn't that what all you Goldians wanted? A fucking liberator? Back off, Captain. The woman Ayame warns him. Her voice low, but with enough venom coating it to be threatening. Calderon snorts, ignoring her. How do I know you're not one of his lackeys? Maybe this whole memory loss ploy was a way to get on this ship. Was he testing me? Because he knew that I had memory loss and he's asking me what I think about Zovac. I don't know, bro. You think I want this? To not know who I am? Who knows what you'd say to worm your way into my crew? I don't know what your crew does or who your crew is. He takes a step toward me, and it's so intimidating that it takes everything I have not to move a muscle. You're unbelievable. And you're becoming a pain in my ass, so I'm going to ask you one last time. He points a finger at me, and I resist the urge to shove it away. Just shove it away. I don't like people pointing at me. How close is his finger? Are you working for Jess Zovac? Who? I want to say yes, just to. What happens if I say yes? I don't want my playthrough to end, so he might kill me like immediately. Alright, I'm just gonna say who. I don't even know who that is. He closes his eyes and pinches the bridge of his nose tight, and I can almost see whatever shred of patience he had left wither and die. I don't know what else he expected me to say. I have no idea who this Zovac is. Just tell me what the hell you're doing on my ship. Your guess is as good as mine. Sounds to me like I need to have a word with June about picking up strays. My chest heaves with anger, but I hold my tongue. He is the captain after all, even if his manners leave much to be desired. Know this, until we reach our destination, all eyes will be on you. I was wondering, what was he telling Damon to do? If Damon is an assassin, who is he gonna assassinate on this ship? We haven't landed anywhere. But since Calderon said all eyes will be on you, my assumption is that Damon is probably watching me, in the slinky dinky shadows. I'm not your enemy. You don't have to be so paranoid. Paranoia is the least of my worries. Zovac is not a man to be trifled with. If you don't like him, then maybe he's not so bad. It takes only a second to know that this was the wrong thing to say. His lips curl back from his teeth, revealing a scowl so venomous, my eyes widen. Not so bad? You think murder, deceit, and radicalism is not so bad? His growl echoes straight through me, and I inhale sharply, meeting him head on. I know I'm not doing the proper annotation. It's I don't know how to describe the proper way to do his lines, because I don't think this has voice. Yeah, it only has music and sound. It doesn't have voiceover. But I'm sure I'm not doing the proper annotations when I say his lines. Zovac, the bastard who forced the Crown Council to name him king, but not before killing the entire royal family. Think about that, will you? King Fenris, the 3 queens, and their 11 children, goddamn, murdered. His eyes are blazing, the fury made obvious by the growl in his voice and the flush of his skin. Now, how about you tell me again how he's not so bad? For fuck's sake, Calderon, have you really got to be a raging asshole 98% of the time? She grabs Calderon by the arm, hoisting him back a step while she glares up at him. She's not responsible for the mess we're in. He fixes her with an equally hard stare, the tension between them palpable as he grits out from between clenched teeth. Set the course, now. Would it kill you to say please? Please? At least he says it. She rolls her eyes at him as she storms back to the cockpit controls. I guess that's the pilot. Confusion must show on my face because when Calderon turns to me again, he lets out a defeated sigh, rubbing a hand over his face tiredly. You really don't remember anything. His voice is surprisingly gentle now, and I shake my head, unable to tear my gaze away from his. There's something about those eyes. Oh, it's everybody's eyes, apparently. Calderon's got a wall around him about a mile high. That much is obvious. But every now and then, there's a flicker of something. If I didn't know better, I'd say it was sadness. He inhales sharply, the red flush of anger melting away as he waves a dismissive hand at me. Whatever, I've got shit to do. Head back to your room. It's yours for the time being. I'll have someone check on you later. Is that like a check on you to make sure I'm in my room, or check on me to make sure I'm doing okay? I can just walk away, agree, walk away, provoke him further. I'll just say okie dokie. Oh shoot. It's already been 30 minutes. That's crazy. It doesn't feel like 30 minutes. This is why I have to do the timer, because literally, when I start playing Otome games, time flies. Well, we've met, from part 1, we've met June, Bash, and Riona. We're on part 2. Oh, did I say part 2 or part 1 just now? I can't remember. Anyways, in part 2, we met Calderon, Damon, and Ayame, which is 6. So we're missing one more person. I'm not gonna give out any spoilers because the last character was my first route when I first played this game. Like I said, I don't have any favorites because I love all of the characters equally. But I did do the last character for my first route. Let's see. Saving it. Oh look, the engineer, the captain. And if you don't want to wait for the next part, you can always play it yourselves. It's on itch.io for free. Technically, it's a pay what you want situation. So if you want to support the creators, please do. But I'll be playing part 3 tomorrow, so look ahead for that if you want to. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.